Alright, man. So, this is going to be another discussion video. And this is going to be my characters. I'm going to basically tell you guys my character ideas for my Absolute Dragon Ball universe that I'm going to make. And this was inspired really by Salad Sand. Shout out to him. Shout out to Salad Sand. He did his Absolute Dragon Ball. Uh, First video was 2 weeks ago. I've only seen his first episode because I don't want to watch his other episodes because I don't want them to influence what I got going on. But shout out to Silent Sam, man. My favorite video that he ever did was what if Jiren was in Universe 6 and he had him with the Galactic Patrol. That was tough. Anyway, so I'm going to do my own Absolute Dragon Ball. And I had comments that you guys want me to do this in several videos, but I found a couple comments from Mr. September and OD Demon Wolf. They were like, do an Absolute Dragon Ball like DC's Absolute Universe. This was 9 months ago, right? This one right here. He wanted to see an Absolute series. It'd be really interesting to see an Absolute series. So here it is, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. First, I didn't want to do this because I don't like doing stuff that I'm not really inspired to do, and I didn't really have a good Absolute Dragon Ball idea. I'm gonna keep it real. I really didn't. But you know, I thought I came up with some stuff. Funny thing is, I had this video done a long time ago, like the other characters. The hardest thing to do was Goku's Saiyan armor, man, because I wanted to make his armor look technical, right? And I'm gonna respond to y'all's comments too, because I did a post where I wanted y'all to comment some thoughts, but it took me forever to get this design that I wanted. All right, I want Goku's Saiyan armor to look like this in the Absolute Universe. Like this, like kind of like Mega Man kind of aesthetic as far as his armor, because I want it to be technical. I want it to be like cybernetic kind of. I'll explain that, right? Because in Absolute Superman, right? In Absolute Superman, Clark gets an armor called the Soul Armor, right? And I want to do that same thing for Goku. I don't really know how I'm going to make all the feats of his armor, but I know it's going to work off Blitz waves, right? And I'm also not going to... And also I have an origin story of how this Absolute Dragon Ball universe started, because in DC... Darkseid created the Absolute Universe. Well, we're going to have something happening here. I'm not going to tell y'all what it is. I don't want to spoil it. But I'll just say that it's Dragon Ball GT related. Alright? But anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling all over the place. But Superman, Absolute Superman had his technical armor. Right? And his soul armor. It can do a lot of stuff. It's self-regenerating and things like that. And I'm going to have something similar to that for Goku. That's why his armor looks like that. Someone commented, why does armor look like that? That's why, because I'm going for that. And it was hard. It was hard because the reason it was hard coming up with this design is because I wanted his armor to still look like, the Saiyan armor, but I wanted it to also show some mechanical aspects. And it was really hard to get that centered, man, because a lot of times it would just end up looking too cybernetic. Anyway, and this is inspired also by, I'm going to go off of the Ocean dub. In the early English Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta famously tells Goku that his father, Bardock, was an average fighter but a brilliant scientist who invented the artificial moon. So I'm going to play off of that in this Absolute Universe. We're going to go with Bardock being a scientist, right? And he'll get it. That'll get his origin story when I go into it. And that's coming real soon. I'm gonna just go through the Absolute Dragon Ball. I'm going to probably run through that. And we're going to focus on Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z characters for this, right? So Bulma... I'll just tell y'all the lore that I got for Bulma that's going to be different from her in the original. In this one, she's poor. She's not rich. And there's a war going on Earth because Goku lands on Earth late. Because in the same way that Superman lands on the Earth late in Absolute Superman, Goku lands on the Earth late. And while he was gone, there was a war going on. Bulma loses an arm and a leg. But her technical skills makes her make these cybernetic robotic arms and stuff like that. There's a war going on, basically between Pilaf and the Red Ribbon Army. I got an idea with that. She's also going to be important for Goku's armor too, because something's going to happen to that. The Master Roshi of the Absolute Universe, he is blind. All right, so like in the original, and let me also say this too. A lot of you know this already, but in the Absolute Universe in DC, they always take away an aspect, right? Like in Absolute Superman, Superman's parents were workers. All right, they weren't the rich scientists, right? Like Jor-El. And also, Absolute Superman lands on Earth late. He wasn't raised by the Kents, right? So they always take away an aspect, like an Absolute Batman. Batman is he didn't grow up rich, things like that. So my Absolute Master Roshi, he's born blind because we know the OG Roshi is he was like this pervert guy, like a pervert hermit. And this one he's blind, and because he's blind, he was never a pervert, so he went even more into mastering his martial arts, and things like that. So he's gonna be like a more serious type of master in this aspect. And he's born, he has blind. I don't know if I'm gonna make him born blind or get blind in an accident. I haven't really worked that out yet. All right, and his students in this universe are Tien Shinhan and Chaozu, right? And I think these designs look dope as hell. This is Tien, and this is Chaozu. They're going to be Master Roshi's students. And nothing really too crazy about that. I mean, I got some ideas with this, but, that'll be when it actually comes out. As you can see, they got the turtle hermit symbol on them instead of the crane. And I have Yamcha as well. And I didn't include Krillin in this. I have ideas for Krillin, and I have ideas for Launch as well. I didn't include them. But for Yamcha, in the Absolute Universe for Yamcha isn't a desert bandit. He's a desert assassin. All right, he was he was a student of Mercenary Tao. Now, with this cool idea that I have here is that Yamcha's assistant, friend, whatever you want to say, Puar, I'm going to have it to where Puar she shapeshifts into his weapons, right? She shapeshifts into swords and stuff. Because remember, I don't remember if it was Puar or Oolong, but they transformed into scissors and cut off Goku's tail in the original Dragon Ball. So in this universe, Puar shapeshifts into Yamcha's weapons, and he uses them to assassinate people and do cool shit. I thought that would be a dope concept. And the last character I have before we get into the comments is Kami. Now, what I have, and I was inspired by Akuma with this Kami, right? So with this Kami, I think I'm gonna have it to where in Absolute, this Kami, you know how in the regular Kami he was just kind of like the observer. He was like the observer, watcher, guardian of Earth. In this one, I'm gonna have him more involved, but also he's gonna have a darkness within him because I think in this version, I'm gonna make it to where this Kami never separated from Piccolo, so he has this darkness in him, and he becomes like a wrathful god, because the word Kami means God and things like that. And I have a whole thing with that. That's gonna be its own arc. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all these ideas too, by the way. I really want to know in the comments. But let's go to the comment section real quick. Because King Kindred, he guessed a lot of things, and he was almost right about them, right? So he said Kakarot was raised with the Saiyans. Yes, he was. This Tien and Chaozu trained with the Turtle School. Yamcha is an assassin. Bone lost her leg looking for the Dragon Balls. Roshi was either born blind or lost his sight against Solar Fairy King Piccolo. He was right on a lot of them. The only thing he didn't really guess is that this armor was mechanical. And that's really it. Oh, Bulma lost her leg looking for the Dragon Balls. Well, I'd say she lost her legs. I don't know if I'm going to go with that, because I did have that idea. Or I have it to where she loses it in a war that started between Pilaf and the Red Ribbons. I don't know. I also think I'm going to make it to where the Dragon Balls in this universe have dark energy, and that'll make sense when I show y'all the origin, because like I said, it's GT related. But let me read these comments. I hope you do an absolute version of Goku in DC. I do plan on that eventually. This is going to be amazing. Can't wait. Appreciate that. Did Bulma become a rebel? What happened to the Absolute Dragon Ball verse? Red Ribbon took over since Goku wasn't around. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a war between Pilaf and the Red Ribbon Army over the Dragon Balls. And also Kami will be in this too. That's a whole other topic. But will I do a Devil May Cry in DC? I don't know about that. We're in the same universe together. Devil May Cry, we're in the same. Thing is, I like Devil May Cry. At least I like 1, 2, and 3. But I don't really know about putting them like making a story about them. I've never really even done that before. The Frieza Force armor is really QK. What does QK mean? Y'all let me know in the comments. I think that's a compliment, so I get out of like too. But anyway, man, I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but I just wanted to let y'all know in this discussion, Absolute Dragon Ball is coming. It's on the way. Put in the comments what y'all would like to see. Also, if y'all got some ideas that y'all don't mind sharing, if I like it enough, I'll use it, and then I'll put your name in there and say, hey, I got this idea from so and so. So yeah, y'all know what it is, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.